Gentlemen, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. These are my Vortex Crossfire 10x50s that I've been running for the last 3 years straight, and I got some thoughts and opinions on them that I want to share with you guys today. Let's get started. Like I said, I've put about 3 years of use on these binos, so I think I've formed a pretty decent opinion on how they are and what I think they'd be best used for. So for this video, we're going to talk about the specs that go along with these binos, the pros, the cons, and what I think their best intended use would be. So we're just going to go ahead and get started with the features of the Crossfire 10x50s. I also want to note that Vortex didn't send me these. They don't know I'm making this video. There's no relationship going on with Vortex and myself to where this is going to be a biased opinion. This is just going to be pretty objective and what I've noted in my experiences. Essentially, whenever I'm running these binos, I'm either wearing it on this Vortex leather patch harness or in my Eberlestock Recon harness. I have a whole video out on my Recon bino harness. If you're interested, I will leave it linked up in the cards and down in the description. But for right now, just since I don't need to carry like a rangefinder or anything else on me, I just need binos, I carry them on this really basic harness from Vortex. Okay, so when you hear a binocular described as 10x50, 8x42, whatever you might see on the shelf, the 10 in the 10x50 means 10x magnification, and the 50 means a 50mm objective lens. So a fairly large objective lens coming in on these binos. We will talk about the pros and cons of lens sizes coming up, but that is what the 10x50 means. They got a nice rubberized coating. They've got a couple of little contours on the bottom here to kind of fit your thumbs into, get a nice grip on them. You have focus adjust here up on the top. You also have a tripod adapter threaded bit right here in the center. You get multi-coated lenses. You can see the sort of color shift going on in the lenses there. That is the anti-glare coating, and tie-off loops for running a harness. I've just got some paracord through mine right here. These weigh in at 30 ounces and they're about 6x4 on their overall size. I'd put them in like the mid-size range for a hunting binocular. These are backed by Vortex's lifetime no questions asked warranty, which I did have to cash in on a rangefinder a little while back, and it does in fact work, and they just sent me a brand new one free of charge, which is awesome to see. They're also completely fog proof and waterproof, which I have tested and it is true, and they are nitrogen gas purged to keep any air out from the atmosphere. These are a completely sealed system. They will not allow water or air into the system as it stands. You've also got adjustable eye cups. For me, I wear glasses, so I usually keep these all the way in like so. But if you're not running glasses, you might want to pop the eye cups out. The eye cups do not necessarily have an adjustable length. They're either all the way out or all the way in, which is fine for me. I typically just use them all the way in and adjust my focus on the top as I'm glassing. Let's talk about the pros of the Crossfire 10x50s. One of the big pros is actually in the name. The 50 in the name is a fairly large objective lens. A larger objective lens gives you more light gathering. Now, if you keep glass quality equal between two binoculars, if you have the same exact glass in, say, a 10x40 and you have the same exact glass in a 10x50, the low light performance of the 10x50s will be better because you are gathering more light. Since most of your activity is during dawn and dusk, aka the low light time of day, I like having a slightly larger objective lens on my binoculars. Another pro to the Crossfire line from Vortex in their scopes, their rangefinders, or their binoculars is the price. This is a sub $200 pair of binos with pretty darn good performance metrics, and for sub 200 bucks, I think you'll struggle to do much better than these. So the price is very, very competitive, and honestly, I think very fair for what you're getting. As you step up in the lines from Vortex, say Diamondback all the way up to the Razor line, you're going to start paying exponentially more and more money. Now that money is not necessarily wasted because they have very good competitive features in those binos as well. But for the Crossfires, you're getting a very low price for a bino that honestly punches well above its weight class. Now, image quality up close is very, very good. I get great color translation through the lenses, and I get very, very little image distortion inside of close range. We're going to roll into the cons now rather smoothly, in fact, because we are going to talk about long range performance. Outside of 300 yards, if I'm glassing all the way across a field, The image doesn't necessarily fall apart, but it's not the best on the market because these are a cheap pair of binoculars, cheap by today's standards anyway. But inside that 300 yard range, these binos are giving a very crisp image with very nice color translation through a decently coated glass inside the binos. So if you're a guy that's doing a lot of hunting out west and you're going to be glassing up elk or mule deer at 600, 700, 800, 1,000 yards and you need to get like detailed images of what kind of age class you're dealing with, maybe the Crossfires are not going to be for you. But for those of us in the Midwest, and even those of us that hunt maybe thicker areas out west, something like the Crossfire is going to be very, very competitive for the money. The price is really the thing that brings these home for me, them being a very affordable set of binoculars while also giving me enough performance that I don't feel lacking in my needs. Is the Diamondback better? Yes. Is the Razor better? Absolutely yes. Would it be better inside of 300 yards? Probably not notably so I don't mind picking up a slightly lower quality glass binocular and saving a bit of money. I'm personally not made of money, so I need something that is fair priced, performs inside of the metrics that I need, and is not going to break on me. And even if these do break on you, which again, I think it'd be pretty hard to break them, Vortex has that warranty to back you up with no questions asked. Also, if you're doing long glassing sessions, like I said, you guys out west might be sitting up on a knob and doing a bunch of glassing out over a tripod. Number one pro, you have the tripod lug adapter right up here to actually run these on a tripod if you want to, but you might notice a bit more fatigue in your eyes running a lower quality bino like this versus something in the Razor line or from another company that makes very high quality ED coated binoculars. So here's my final verdict on the 10x50 Crossfires. These are not the best binos that money can buy, and that's kind of the whole point, I guess. They're a very budget-minded bino that gives most hunters, especially those of us in the Midwest, everything that we need and nothing we don't. If you fit into a category of hunters that needs more than what these can provide you, say maybe long glassing sessions past 400 yards, then look elsewhere. If you're more like me and you hunt more Midwestern states, a lot of thicker areas, or areas where you're just not going to have to glass that far very often, something like a Crossfires is a great place to save money without sacrificing very much capability, if any at all. Good clarity for what they're made for, good low light performance based on that larger objective lens, and a wonderful price tag to round it all out. For me, that is an absolute win. If you're interested in picking up a nice set of budget binos from Vortex, I will leave a link down in the description. That will be an affiliate link, and it's a great way to support the channel if you would like to. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else for you. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.